Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? It's me, Mr. 4Cap Scaler. So recently, I was on Facebook, straight to PlayStation Facebook website and Facebook page, if you will, not a website, but a Facebook page for Sony's official PlayStation Facebook page, and some interesting comments. Some very interesting comments regarding the release of the PlayStation 5 in Europe, United Kingdom, Ireland, across the Europe, and they seem to be having, of course, the same issue, the same problem that we here in United States has regarding the scalper bots. For the most part, there's people out there who are also huge Sony fans that they are not okay with this. That it's good to see that there's people out there who are fans of Sony. They are blaming the Sony for doing this online only, for not releasing it in a store. I think the odds would have been much better if Sony had decided to release the consoles in the store only, where you can purchase it online and everything's in the store. I think this would have given much better chance of you getting one. And at least those who do get one, it would go to the right hands. It would have gotten to the Sony fans who really want that console, not to the scalper bots. That's the sad situation here. That's the sad part that we're dealing here with, is the fact that what Sony doesn't seem to understand is the true Sony fans are not getting the console, is the scalper bots who are getting the console and they're selling it to Sony fans for $1,500, $1,900, or £2,000, which is even more ridiculous if you live in United Kingdom. I mean, you multiply how much £2,500 it is in dollars, and you will see. So this is the situation that I don't think Jim Ryan understands, and the other guy, Herman Hulst, doesn't seem to understand, which is the head of Sony Worldwide Studios. He doesn't seem to understand that as well. This whole situation could have been avoided, and Sony had plenty of time. I'm pretty sure they're aware that there's a pandemic going on. I'm pretty sure they know that there's a big problem with the pandemic, and they had many options available. They had 10 months to prepare for this, okay? 10 months to prepare for this, and they choose not to prepare for this, okay? Because there was no preparation. I tried to order in September. I couldn't order because of the scalper bots. I was simply not able to buy it. Some people say it's not the scalper bots, it's the high demand. No, I was the first one in line. As soon as it hit that time for the pre-order, listen, on September, since midnight, I didn't sleep since midnight till 12 o'clock noon. And I thought I was the first one in line to secure the PlayStation, only to find out that the Amazon sent me a message. Sorry, we removed that from your place in order due to the fact that it's out of stock. There was an error message. All right. And they sent me an email. Sorry, we removed it out of your cart. Your PlayStation has been removed. Same thing with the Xbox. Okay. Now, granted, there's a few percentages here and there of the lucky individuals who happen to be lucky to get one. I'm not talking about you. I mean, congratulations, you got lucky. I'm talking about majority of people, okay? I don't focus on minority. I focus on majority. And this is not good if majority of the individuals that got the consoles are the scalpers. And these same scalpers are selling it for a higher price. To us, to you, to me, to all of us, they're selling it at a higher price. How is that fair? And the fact that Sony won't even address this issue, it's ridiculous that they're still turning the blind eye on this issue. But anyway, regarding the Facebook page, some interesting comments. It's 50-50. There's obviously those hardcore fanboys, Sony fanboys, who are defending the Sony, saying this is not a Sony's fault. And then you got those, also hardcore Sony fans, but they're blaming the Sony for not doing something about this. And I'm with the other side, not with the hardcore fanboys. I'm with the reasonable fanboys who are actually criticizing Sony and letting Sony know this could have been avoided. You had plenty of time. You had 10 months to organize this. You had plenty of chances to fix this, and you did nothing about it. You could have organized with the retailers. We all understand you can't control retailers, but you sure as hell could have negotiated with the retailers. Okay, you had plenty of time to put some negotiations with the retailers, or you had the options of just putting it on stores and let people buy it in stores. First come, first serve. And at least we wouldn't have this problem of scalper bots. Okay, but if you don't want to do that, if you're worried about COVID-19 and you don't want to put it in store, there's another option that you could have suggested to the retailers. And I'm sure if you had mentioned this to the retailers, hey, we can offer to put a security checks in system, very simple security checks in system. So when you decide to start to sell these consoles in your store online only, we can present to you with a CAPTCHA system that will verify to make sure that the human is purchasing a console. They could have put a security, all of these retailers, Sony and Microsoft had 10 months to negotiate with the retailers, and they could have told retailers, okay, we're going to put these security measures in place where only one account can buy one console, meaning one console per person, one PlayStation 5 per person, one Xbox Series X per person. And they could have figured this out. They could have fixed this. They could have implemented this. And they didn't. It was a very simple thing they could have done. Put a CAPTCHA system. Only one person can buy a console per account. You can have multiple consoles being bought at the same time. One per person. One per the account. They could have done that. But they didn't. And of course, they could have verified your account, that you are you, that you're not bogus, that you're not a scammer, that you're not a scalper, that you're not using any bots, any kind of stuff to disrupt the whole launch. Listen, there's so many precautions they could have taken. So I'm with the other side of the Sony fanboys who are actually blaming Sony and corporations like Sony and the retailers. Of course, retailers are at fault here too, but Sony is also at fault for not doing anything about it. Sony is at fault because this is your product and you're not taking any precautions with this product. You had plenty of time to negotiate with the retailers. How hard is it for Jim Ryan to call a CEO of Walmart? How hard is it for Phil Spencer to call the CEO of Walmart and Best Buy? At the press of a button, they can call the CEO and they can organize all of this. They had 10 months. If I was a CEO, I guarantee you this would have never happened. I would have never let this happen. Otherwise, I would never release the consoles to the retailers. All right? There would be a negotiation, and I know how to negotiate. All right? So, bottom line is this. Sony's to blame here. Microsoft is to blame here. And of course, the retailers are to blame here because they're not looking after consumer. They're violating consumers' rights by allowing these scumbags, scalper bots, to use these bots to do this. So I'm glad to see that there's even hardcore, well, not hardcore fanboys, but even those mediocre Sony fanboys are actually agreeing with me. They agree with me that, hey, this is wrong. They had plenty of, there's no excuse. Basically, what they're saying is there's no excuse for this. And I agree. There is no excuse for this. But you got this other side of hardcore fanboys and I think they're the problem. These hardcore fanboys, they're defending Sony. Like, how could you defend them? You know they screwed up. You know that this is their fault. If they cared about us so much, they would have done something about this, or they wouldn't let this happen. Or they would have simply released the console on their store only. Or they would just put it in the stores only, where you walk inside a store and that's where you buy it. And I think if they did that, where people wear a mask, listen, what's the point of putting these consoles online only? People are already in the stores. People are already shopping. There's hundreds of people shopping for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, for holidays. There's already hundreds of people out there. Either you close the stores or you open the stores. So what's the point? Let me ask you this question. I'm really having a difficult time with this whole COVID-19 crap. Let me ask you this goddamn question to the retailers. If you really give a shit that much about this pandemic and about this COVID-19 situation, then why the hell do you have the stores open? Close the goddamn stores. Close your retailers. Do everything online. Close them. I shouldn't be allowed to walk into your store. There's hundreds of people. I did a video inside the Best Buy. Next to Best Buy, there's a Target. Hundreds of people walking around, prowling around, buying consoles. I mean, not consoles, buying products. No one's 6 feet away. Everybody's like, almost like scraping each other. That's how close we are, because there's so many goddamn people. Try to walk through a goddamn aisle. You can't. You're going to touch somebody with your shoulders. Because you're going to scrape with somebody. Because there's so many people. But that's okay. That's okay. That's all right. People protesting. That's okay. That's all right. People standing in line to vote. That's okay. That's all right. People standing in line to double check to see if they're positive or negative. That's okay. That's all right. With their, COVID-19 test. Give me a goddamn break. I'm sick and tired of these double standards. Either A, we'll have one standard and everything's locked, or that's it. No standards. I don't like double standards. If you care so much about people, and if you give a damn so much about the COVID-19 situation, then shut down every goddamn store. Shut it down. Close every goddamn store. Close it. Walmart, Best Buy, Target closed every goddamn store. If you give a shit so much about this pandemic. I'm sick and tired of this COVID-19 card being fucking played out. Sorry for the language, but it pisses me off with this double standard shit that we have to deal with. So, listen, this whole thing, it's one big damn disaster. I'm sorry for the language, but it really boils my blood. It pisses me off. Then don't release the damn consoles. Release it next year. Release it in goddamn April. Wait. If you're not so sure that you can release it in holidays, release it next year. Listen, there's no excuse for this. There's no excuse for this. And I know I got a lot of you who support me, and I know you're going to agree that there is no excuse for this. There's simply no excuse for this double standard bullshit. And that's all I'm going to say. All right, guys, thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Take care.